Hello, welcome back to Simply a Breeze. My name is Brie if you are new here, and today I figured it was time to do a June garden tour. The garden is completely planted out. Things are looking fantastic. Our peas right here, this is most of them. And then we've got some over there. But our peas look fantastic. We're actually going to be harvesting some peas. Reed and I probably aren't going to get enough peas to preserve, which is totally fine. We have greatly been enjoying them. We've been snacking on them as we've been going through the garden and just looking at it every evening. It has been a part of some of our dinners in a salad, so that's been really great, but we definitely need to harvest more because I don't want them to get too terribly big. Also, we're going to be fertilizing tonight. This is going to be the first or second time I've fertilized everything since it's been in the ground. I did go ahead and put compost on top of the garden beds right as I started planting everything, so I didn't want to over fertilize. Essentially, I didn't want to add too much nutrients at one time because that can actually be bad for the plant because it'll absorb too much. So I definitely tried to hold off and wait, and I think now we're reaching a point where everything could use a little extra boost of nourishment. So first off, let's take a look at these peas. They look fabulous. This is probably our best pea harvest year to date, and I'm loving it, and I'm hoping they stay for just a little bit longer because it is a wonderful garden snack. So we'll go to the other side because the other side has most of the peas. They're all hanging inward. I'll grab a couple here and then I'll show you what else is growing on this side of this bed. Just look at these peas so far. They look fantastic. So this Cosmo is looking fabulous. The parsley here is doing okay. Honestly, I don't know why I started parsley. We didn't need it. The beets are looking really, really good. We've got some beets forming down at the base, and so that's awesome. I have a nasturtium, and here is a beautiful nasturtium. Gorgeous color. This is also the only nasturtium plant. I have another one back here, and he is struggling. But these beets are looking fabulous. Let's see if we can get you in. Take a look at some of those. That looks great. And the peas are looking phenomenal. And then right here we have dill. So the dill looks really good. I may harvest some and preserve some now before it goes to seed. The basil's looking okay. We are suffering from grasshoppers right now, and then I don't know what's going on with the calendula, but it is getting ready to flower, which is exciting. And then this zinnia is also getting ready to flower, but again, we're getting eaten by grasshoppers here. They have come out with a vengeance. That's another zinnia. These are two straw flowers here. Those are going to be beautiful. And then I've got more basil here. So this is a variety of Perpetuo pesto basil. And this is an amazing pesto variety or basil variety. I absolutely love it. One of the unique things about this particular kind of basil is that it can't be started from seed. You have to propagate it from cuttings, I learned. Because I looked high and low for seed and it doesn't exist from what I can tell. But this type of basil is absolutely phenomenal and I use it all the time. And so along with the basil is some hot jalapenos, more calendula, more straw flower, more basil, jalapenos, another Cosmo, a marigold, and then we're on to our tomatoes. So this is a mixture of San Marzanos and Amish paste tomatoes with marigolds intermixed in between. And the tomatoes up here are looking really healthy. They're looking phenomenal. I'm going to start weaving them in and out of this trellis here, because then I can get them to grow up, or I'll just put a support in so that way they continue to go up the trellis. That's how that's looking. I just decided to clean all of my seed starting stuff, so it's currently just drying in the sun. So that's what this mess is. And then all of our kale is looking great. It's super healthy. The cilantro is absolutely loving this location actually, so I'm really happy I did decide to put it here. And I have had 2 semi-decent harvests. It's not huge, but I've gotten a harvest off of it, and that's genuinely what matters. And then over here is some more parsley, and we have 2 cosmos, and they look absolutely beautiful. Just beautiful little orange flowers. And then over here is a little bit of a, I don't know, I guess we can call this a failure. I haven't harvested any of our radishes, and they have all gone to seed. So all of this is radishes, and they are putting on seed pods, if you can tell right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let all these go to seed, and then that way I will harvest the seed, and maybe they'll be a little more tolerable of our climate next year. So that's my goal. I also have another straw flower here. It seems to be doing okay. It's being a little suffocated by the radishes, so I probably should pull some. I don't need all of this seed, but I may pull some just so some of these plants aren't being suffocated. We've got more green peas. So here's our other peas. I don't remember which variety I put here. I'm gonna have to look back to see, but we do have peas to harvest, which is really, really nice. As we come around to the other side, our lettuce. The lettuce is actually looking really good. I have harvested lettuce on this end, but all of the lettuce on this side looks really great. I do probably need to come in and do another harvest. We have been eating these. Again, the radishes are just out here being crazy. I don't know. This might be a straw flower. I didn't realize I put one here, but apparently I did. Our spinach is all going to seed. We did get some spinach harvest, but I'm hoping I'll collect the seed from this spinach, and maybe it will also be a little more tolerant of the climate here. I did get a very small, humble Swiss chard harvest so far, but it is also going to seed. Honestly, I don't know if I'm going to plant it again, simply because I don't know what I'm doing with it all. So there's that. And then we've got more beets over here. That beet looks like it's going to be really nice. So, oh, that one's going to be okay too. So we shall see. And then I've got my zinnias. I've got another straw flower here, and then a marigold. The green stalk with the peppers so far, I am not disappointed. It looks so good so far. Everything seems pretty happy. This I have fertilized once since planting everything, but it looks fantastic and everything seems real healthy. This next bed, the cabbages all look great. I'm really excited for the cabbages this year. Like, my cabbages last year did not look this grand, and this is just gonna look phenomenal. So I'm really excited to get a good head of cabbage in the coming weeks. And then intermixed, I have a marigold, straw flowers, cosmos, a zinnia, straw flower. I don't know what's going on with this one. I think he was getting eaten by bugs. This one was definitely getting eaten by bugs, but if these two will be my sacrificial cabbages, it means I will get a harvest from these other ones, and they will be stunning. And then I've got cosmos intermixed, marigold, another cosmo. We've got some more dill. I should probably get this before it flowers. This cosmo died. I don't know what happened. And then we have more straw flowers, more marigolds, zinnias, and then this is lemon basil. This lemon basil looked really rough there for a little bit, but it's starting to look a lot better. So I'll go ahead and let it start to grow, and then I will trim it. And then this is a sugar rush peach pepper, I believe. All of our asparagus went to fern. It went to fern quite a while ago. And then all of the tomato plants that I have planted in here are my Romas, and they're looking really good. They're starting to get flowers. We've got bees in the garden, and we've got everything. We got a straw flower there, we got a straw flower there. So everything's looking pretty fantastic on this side. And then I don't know if you can see, But we planted beans all along here, and we do have some bean germination, which looks really good. And then we have 2 cucumber plants planted right there. So I absolutely love consuming mint in all forms. However, everybody tells me don't plant it because it's going to spread like a weed. It's invasive, you'll never get rid of it. So at a estate sale a couple weeks ago, I picked up this really cute bucket. It's got a rooster on the front, but I decided to plant my spearmint, a Cosmo, and my peppermint in here, and we will see how they do. I need to look up how to harvest them. My goal is to make tea with these because I love a mint tea. I think it's absolutely delicious, but we will see. I need to figure out how and when to harvest it without shocking the plant because I do want it to be prolific. But then there's no holes in the bottom of this, so it'll ensure that the plant doesn't send roots down and grow elsewhere. Here's a close-up of our cucumbers, and oh my goodness, it looks like we already have cucumbers growing. Ah, that's so exciting. So we will have cucumbers again this year. And then these are all pole beans. So these pole beans are gonna look good. We're gonna have to water. Again, the trick with legumes is you need to make sure they are nice and saturated. And then here's the other side of those peas. An absolute jungle, and it's fantastic. Let's harvest some more. Well, it's enough for dinner. Snap peas are amazing to grow in the garden. So before we move on to the back, I also was running out of space for certain things, so I went ahead and put my thyme in a pot. I went ahead and put the succulents in a pot. I put my calendula in a pot. That is also spearmint, and that is oregano. Again, spearmint and oregano will spread like weeds as well, so that's why they're in pots. And then I didn't know where to put this zinnia or this Cosmo or those zinnias, so they went into pots, and I think they add a beautiful aesthetic to my front porch. So we were on that side earlier, and so these are aromas, that's our marigolds. We've got our sugar rush peach, and they look really good. This basil is looking pretty fantastic. That basil's looking great. And then we have a straw flower over there, a Cosmo, and a very, very sad straw flower right here. The potatoes are looking great. This is probably the best year for potatoes. I do have some like dieback already. I don't know what that means, but we'll see what happens. I'm hoping I can get them to flower, but only time will tell. And so yeah, but I think they're looking better than they have in previous years. And then over here is a zucchini straw flower, and then this is our Ghirardelli pumpkin. Okay, now time for our backyard. So we have 2 blueberry plants. This one's actually putting on blueberries. I think I need to acidify the soil again. This guy's not doing anything, but he has put on a lot of growth since last year, so I will take it. The purple basil back here is looking kind of sad, so I don't know what's going on, but some of these romas back here look really, really sad, and I don't know why, but that guy had like a disease on the top, so I cut it. We'll see if he recovers. We got our marigold, but like this Roma looks okay, and this one's got flowers and is looking really healthy. But then I've got this one who's just got, I don't know, I'll get you on the other side, that'll be better. We got more lemon basil, marigolds, but like this one seems a little stunted, and I don't know what is going on. Because I have 3 of these Romas have whatever this is. and I cannot figure it out. But other than that, they're looking decently healthy. This bed, oh man, friends, I thought I knew what I was going to do with this, and now I have absolutely no idea. This just may be another shade-loving spot. I may move some, I don't know. I was going to have things vine here, but we get way more shade here than I anticipated. We used to have a clematis here, and it hated it because it got blasted by the sun, and I'm not entirely sure what has changed, but stuff has changed. Anyways, this is our broccoli. As you can tell, it didn't make it. And then a volunteer potato. So this volunteer potato is actually from a potato that ended up in our compost. And it ended up the compost we used for this bed. Over here we have morning glories. They love to reseed themselves. And then my neighbor gave me these. I just need to get them into the ground. But they are beautiful, wonderful vining flowers. So we shall see what happens with them. In our beautiful landscape over here is a hydrangea and a hydrangea. These are garlic chives. These are now the only garlic chives I have because I prefer to grow them in containers where they don't spread like weeds. And we are about to get some Rebecca, which I'm super excited for. It flowered last year and it was stunning. And then our echinacea is getting ready to flower as well, which is really, really fun. And then over here, these are our two cherry tomatoes. So one is a sun gold and then the other is a fox cherry. So one's orange, one's red. The front here is all cayenne peppers. And then the back three tomatoes right there are San Marzanos. And then intermixed is marigolds, lemon balm, marigolds. The basil's looking pretty good. We have another cucumber here, and we have more beans back here. So the beans, I don't know if you can see that. The beans are sprouting, which is so exciting. This whole bit right here is full of beans. Same with this back. All here is all full of beans. We've got more sprouts back there. And then this is our kohlrabi. Our kohlrabi is being ravaged by these little green worms, and I've been going through every evening and just pulling off green worms, and I still find some every time I come out here. We're also suffering from grasshoppers. It's more straw flower. Another look at how straight that straw flower is. But this is what's been ravaging our kohlrabi. We'll see if they survive. I don't know. I don't understand. And more calendula getting eaten alive, but it is going to put on a flower, which is exciting. And then more Cosmo. So now let me show you how I fertilize everything. So I use the organic Neptune's Harvest seaweed and fertilizer. And all we're gonna do, it says per gallon. Here's the instructions. So outdoor plants, it says 1/8 of a cup per gallon of water. So we're gonna eyeball it. And this stuff stinks, it doesn't smell very good. Then we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna fill her up, and we'll put 1 gallon here, 1 gallon there. I'm not gonna bother. I may fertilize the peas and the beets on that little bed up front. I've already fertilized the peppers, and then I will weave everything in with the rest of the stuff. But friends, that is my very humble garden harvest. We do tend to get peas almost every other evening. I've been harvesting the lettuce and the spinach. I did take you along with me when I did that, when I did my week in a life of having a very small garden. I will link that here below if you're interested. And yeah, I will let you know how the garden continues to grow and progress, and as things change and develop, it's already way different than what May looked like, which is incredibly exciting. And it may not be a lot, but it brings me joy and it makes me happy. So I will see you all next time. We're in the garden or we're cooking something good in the kitchen. Bye, friends.